Hi everybody, I'm gonna make some more pendants. I saw somebody do some jewelry with mint green and copper and it looked amazing. So I'm gonna play around a bit today and see if I can do something with those colors. So I've got, can I put it over here? No, I've got to put it over there. Can you see? There we go. So I've got Let's Resin bluish green. Hopefully that's going to give me the color that I want. So I'm using Magic Resin, the tabletop epoxy one, not the deep casting. And I warmed up the two separate parts a bit in a water bath. Let's Resin metallic bronze powder. It looks like copper. It says bronze, but it really looks like copper, so I'm hoping it is coppery. And then, of course, I've got my sparkles, and I've got Let's Resin, sky blue opal chunky glitter that I love. I'm going to have a lot of that in here. I'm going to make some snowflakes too, because, you know, Christmas is only, what, 8 months away? Gotta get going. Well, I have these star molds that I want to make a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments with them, and I don't want to buy, you know, tons of molds, so I have to start now and get making them. Okay, so there's that. There's my beautiful glitter, and see what this blue-green looks like. It should be nice. It's kind of more blue than green, but I think it'll be nice with the copper, if that's copper. And I'm probably, most of these I'm going to, the pendants, I'm going to wrap with copper wire. I'm learning how to do that, watching all the videos. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's copper. That's not bronze. I think they labeled the bottle wrong. Ooh, this could be nice. Now I gotta decide. I think I want the copper at the bottom. I'm gonna be doing bunches of them again. Mass production line usually gets me into trouble because my resin starts to harden, but I don't care. Okay, so here we go. I wish I had more of those Teflon things because I could definitely be pouring this instead of. So these ones, I think what I want to do is kind of do. Oops, there's something in there. Well, I'm just going to mess around. Kind of want to do copper at the bottom. It's going to move in that, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Let's try and do, well, just be creative. Put that at the top of that. Those are actually probably earrings. I think I'm going to pause on this, and I think I'm going to put this in first. Oh, I don't know. Here we go. We'll do that. Copper's in there. Put that at the bottom. got left? Got a little bit of sparkle. Let's do another cabochon. Let's try one of these guys. And this will just be sparkle and copper. Do two of those. Maybe three. I might kind of try and mix these up a bit. Okay, used all of that. That's all used up. Still have some resin left. Oh, there isn't much copper. I kind of used it all. Ooh. Yeah, I did kind of use it all. I think I can get enough for there. Enough just to put a little bit in. And then I'll just fill those up with, oh, what's this? No, I used all of that. Just put a bit more of this in. This is heating up, so I'm going to have to go. I think what I'm going to do is the rest of this, I have a chair over there that needs to be resin, so I think I'm going to go and do that. Better go and do it fast. Okay, so now I'm just going to clean up a little bit. Clean up the ones where I overflowed a bit. Easier to do it now because otherwise when you take it out of the molds, you got a lot of, trimming to do. So I'm just going to, I've got toothpicks, and a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I'll just go around the molds and clean up where it went over. You use a lot of Q-tips this way, but I don't know how else to do it. So let's see what we got here. Clean that up. It was a little bit messy. And then tomorrow we'll see what we got. This is the tabletop resin, so it cures overnight. The deep casting, I find it takes 2 or 3 days. You gotta have a longer working time, and you get less bubbles. I think because the resin is thinner, so the bubbles can escape easier. But you gotta wait 2 or 3 days. That's the part I don't like about it. Okay, so that one's good. Also, too, if you're not in a very well ventilated, way too much on these ones, area, then you need to wear a respirator. I'm in a great big room with high ceilings, so I typically don't wear a respirator. I do wear a respirator if I'm sanding resin, because the particles. I'm going to scrape that right off. Woo, look at all that. I don't want to waste that. I got to put it in something. Ooh, sparkles. Let's just stick it in there. It might be enough to fill it. Oh, I love this stuff. Let's see if I can fill this up. Pretty much. Starting to cure already, but I'll torch it and then okay, so that's good, that's good. Any more like that? This one has a fair bit. I might be able to scrape. Yikes. I'm making a heck of a mess. Let's just scrape it off there. The other ones all look not too bad. Just a little bit of cleanup to do, but this one has way too much. Okay, that's good. I'll clean that up later. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around and clean. What I'm going to do after that is with my barbecue lighter, I'm just going to go around and pop some bubbles. It's a lot quicker to do it with a torch, and I have my torch here in case this thing runs out. But it's pretty hard on, the torch is very hard on your molds. So you have to kind of try and resist the urge. This is a lot slower, but it's going to save your molds. I'll do that a few times over the next couple hours. And I'll also keep on cleaning it up. And then tomorrow we'll come back and see what we ended up with. I think these are going to be pretty. Okay. We'll see you in the morning. It's the next morning. I don't think I've ever been so excited to demold something. I hope I'm not jinxing it. This will be the toughest one to demold, I think, because I made such a mess of it. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, yeah, it's nice. I think I will put something, I'll put something in the middle. See, it needs a little something in there. Because the copper isn't sparkly. Not that everything has to be sparkly, but yeah, that's nice. That's pretty. I could put a couple little, oh, look at that. I could put a couple little rhinestones in. Man, that is nice. Yeah, those are really cute. This would be cute ornaments. Okay, good. Here's the great big one. One of the big ones. Ooh. It's a pretty sturdy mold, which is a good thing because it's got a lot of little fine things on it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it needs something in the middle, I think. I'm not sure what. I'll figure something out. Oh, look at that one's all copper. It's okay. Oh. Ooh, that's perfect. See what these little ones did. Oh yeah, those are cute. Oh, I like these. Oh, I know what to do. That's what. Yeah, baby. That's what. And I think I have enough. Yeah, perfect. Maybe that's what they're meant to do. Oh, I'm going to have fun with those. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I'm going to do these ones first. Well, that's pretty, but too much copper in that one. It's pretty though. Let's see what this one. Ooh, that's neat. Ooh. Actually, I like the back. I might just dome it and use the back. I don't know. That's nice. Oh, I think that was just copper and sparkles. Those are pretty. Or the copper really spreads. Oh, that's nice though. Those are nice. They're nice, they're different. Wow, those are interesting. I think those are the ones where I kind of injected it. Sorry, that light reflection, I don't think I can do anything about that. Those are neat. Oh. Oh. Those are gorgeous. Beauty. These ones are kind of filled with clear resin when it was starting to harden. Oh, I'll have to cut them apart, but look at those. Woo! Just a little guy with leftovers. That turned out good. Oh, and then just your basic beauty sparkles. Cool. Leftover. Okay, clean that mold up. Oh, I love those ornaments. I think those are going to be nice. This was just some leftover that I had. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I'm trying to get that. I don't think I can get, no, I can't get rid of that light. Oh my goodness. That's going to be gorgeous. Okay, now let's see what these guys turned out like. Oh, the copper kind of spread too far on that. You see, it's just kind of all copper. I don't know if I can do anything with that. Hope they're not all like that. So that's good to know, the copper. Oh no, that's nice. Ooh, is that, I don't see any, oh, the sparkles are all at the top. Look at that. That is neat. That'll be so pretty wrapped in copper. Again, the copper covered the whole thing. So that's kind of that's a fail. 2 fails. Let's see what this one is doing. This one looks okay. Yeah, that's kind of neat. That one's okay. This one I think is going to be nice. Oh yeah. Because you see the sparkles in. That's nice. Oops. That's all right. It's kind of plain. Might have to zip it up somehow. Whoa. I love the shape of this though. That'll be nice with copper wrap on it, wire wrapping. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Just copper in the back. And the last one. I'll do another batch today. I don't know what color I'll do today. Somebody was suggesting I do red, so I might do that. Oh, no, that's nice. You've got sparkles on the bottom, blue, and then copper on the top. That's kind of what I was after. So that's nice too. Okay, so now I'm going to go and do some findings. I'm still waiting from, I have a few like wire wrapping things, like tools and that, but they're kind of crummy, so I've ordered some more. So I'm waiting for them to come, and then I'm going to do a bunch of wire wrapping, but I'll put some of these on findings, and then I'll try and show you how I do that once I figure out if I have what I need. Okay. So I thought I should show you some of the things I do when I'm prepping the jewelry once I've got the resin done. So I do a couple of different things when I'm putting the findings on. I'll just show you what I do with these when I have a pendant like that or a stone that doesn't have a hole in it. or on my keychains and stuff like that, I drill a hole. So I use a Dremel, I think. It's like a little drill type thing, and it does all kinds of cool things. Where's my box of stuff? It's got, like, you know, cutters and sanders and buffers and everything. Great tool to have if you're working with resin. When you are, which reminds me, put my mask on. When you are sanding resin or using this kind of a tool, make sure you wear a mask, because you're going to get dust particles, you know, and I don't think they'd be very good to inhale. So I'm putting my mask on. See, I'm masked. And my glasses. Sometimes I take my glasses off when I'm doing close-up work. I can just see better for some reason, but when I'm using the Dremel, I put my glasses on and a mask. So I'm just going to find sort of the spot. I'm going to use this clasp. I don't know how well you can see. It's just a little, I don't know what you call it, little clasp. I love them. I'll put a link in my description for Amazon for them. And then, so I know that I need to go down about 1/4 of an inch. So it's going to make a lot of noise. I'll turn it down on the video, but I'm just going to drill a hole right in there. Oh, I usually put a little block of wood underneath it so that I don't drill into my table. Okay, here goes. Here goes with the noise. And that's it. I do that. I'm going to clean it up a bit. I should have a cloth with me. Shop towel, nice and soft. I always wash the pieces when I'm all done. I wash them with soap and water and buff them up, but for now, I just want to show you. So you just get these little claspy things. They're awesome. They come in like silver, gold, rose gold, and kind of like a pewter. They're great. They're really good for earrings or for things. And you just bend it open a bit. Put it in the little holes. Oops, stuck. Put it a bit more, there we go. And just squish it in. You can do it with your hands. I always like to just give it an extra little push with my pliers, just to make sure it's nice and solid in there. There you go. And then I'll put a jump ring on it, like a little jump ring on the top B, because it's a pretty small hole there. And then I'll be able to put a chain through it. Here we go. How easy is that? Yeah, so that's that. And the other thing, I've got to change the bit. I'll show you too how I change the bit on the Dremel. One of these days I got to learn what it's called. So right now I have like a drill on it, and I don't think I wanted to drill anything else. So I'm going to switch out the head. Not that it's that big a deal. So they give you a little wrench. That just locks it so that when you're trying to turn it, it doesn't spin on you. Just loosen it a bit and take that drill out, and then I'm going to put in, it's kind of a sander thing, but it's very fine, like a needlepoint sander thing, because I'm going to clean up some of these pieces here. So just wind it on with your hand and then give it a tightening with the little wrench. There we go. Here's your little turnkey thing. Take that out. Okay, so what do I want to do? This one, is just got a few, it's very fine, but there's a few little areas in there that I need to clean out a bit. You know, it's probably not even hard to see in there. I just want to, whoops, I even lost it. Just want to clean up the edges a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. Here comes the noise. Whoops. So there you go. That's why that's why you want to try and not overfill your molds, because that's why I had to do all that. So I'll go over this again and make sure there's no jagged edges, but yeah, so when you do overfill them, that's how you fix them. Now, if you don't have a Dremel, the other thing you can do, which is what I used to do before I had a Dremel, is you can use like one of those box cutter knives and just heat it up, and I'll show you. Heat up the blade with your torch. Just heat it up till it starts to turn a little bit red, just a little bit pink, so you know it's hot. And then you have to be really careful, but you can just trim off the excess. You just have to be careful, especially when you're working with tiny pieces. That gives a pretty clean trim. You have to keep heating up your blade. And then if there's any little jagged edges, you can just file those down, even with a nail file. A little bit of sand, light sandpaper or a nail file. So that's good. Same thing with these ones. Now these are pretty thick. The overspill is pretty thick on these. I really kind of just dumped it in when my resin started getting hot. Maybe I'll show you that one instead. It's not quite as thick. Again, same thing. You just have to be really careful. You're working with fire and blades, so. So I'm just going to go right to the edge there. And just trim it off. Just kind of put a little bit of pressure on the knife because the heat will go through the resin. There you go. Now sometimes when you do that, it kind of takes the shine off the edge, So you can just put a tiny bit of resin on that to redo it, or if you're putting it in a holder or something, it doesn't really matter. So there you go. So there's a few things that I do to clean up. What else did I want to show you? Okay, so that's good for cleaning up. So I just kind of trim any extra resin pieces that need to be cleaned up, and then it's ready to put on the findings. Okay, the next little thing I'm going to do is just a little bit of resin touch-up things. So like where these ones where I sanded them, I'm just going to take a dollar store paintbrush, because whatever paintbrush you use will be ruined, and I'm just going to brush a little bit of resin just where I sanded it. You don't want so much that it's going to drip and kind of ruin your shape. So all it takes is a tiny thin Just a very thin coat to bring back the shine. There's other ways you can probably do it. I think you can probably polish it or buff it and stuff. I just find this is the easiest way. Just a tiny bit of resin. I'm not wearing gloves just because I'm down to my last pair. And I don't think I'll be getting my hands too much in the resin doing this. It's just tiny little touch-up things. And that'll cure overnight and then it'll be perfect. Just a tiny bit. And bring back the shine. You could use UV resin for this, and I do use UV resin for some things, but I had to do some, I have to do some doming as well, so I got this out. It's nice and quick. Last little bit down there. Fix that up. Perfect. So tomorrow those will cure really nice. These ones, I'm just going to use the resin to attach these little stars in the middle. So I'm just going to paint. Hard to hold on to. Paint the back of them with resin. I'll put a little bit more on these because I want to make sure it sticks, and I'm going to put a little bit on here too. I want to make sure that doesn't fall off. So I'll line it up. You don't want to put so much that it's going to spill out the sides, but it looks good. I love these things. And that will harden, and that ain't coming off. I'll do the same thing with this one. Oops. They're very tiny. Yeah. And put a little bit down here. That's all I need. Line it up. There we go. I see now as I'm doing this, there's a few little spots where I sanded. It's not really clear. I'm just going to touch that up. Just a little bit of resin in there. There we go, that's that. This one might be a little bit trickier because it's got an indentation there, but I'm just going to see if I can get away with, I'll see if it works for me. It should. This resin stuff is pretty darn sticky. And I'll know tomorrow if that's going to work or not. Doesn't take much. There we go. That's them. These ones, I could probably use my dropper for these. Just going to put a little bit in this cabochon thing. I've done glue. I'm sure there's a bunch of different things you can use. Again, I just want to make sure it's going to stay on there, so I'll just put some glue, some resin. Which way do I want it? I think that way. Just drop it right in. Press it down a bit. I want to see a little bit of resin coming out the side so I know that it's in there good. And I'll check it and maybe just put an alcohol wipe, run an alcohol wipe around it, make sure there's no excess. That looks good. Same thing here. Probably just use my spoon. That'd be quicker, or a popsicle stick. Scoop a bit up, put her down. Do this one. Spread it around a bit. I'll do those ones later. And just decide how I want the stone. I think like that. Drop it in. Give it a little press down. There we go. Okay, this should be good tomorrow. Now, doming is a little bit trickier. Try to make sure that your pieces are nice and level. So that you do this when you see there's a little dip there sometimes with your molds, you know, if there's not quite enough resin in them, or sometimes it does it anyway. The sides just, oops, here. The sides just kind of heave up a little bit, raise up. So you want to, if you want to make it a nice smooth stone, you want to dome it. So you put some more resin in. I could probably use my spoon. I don't want to overfill it. That should be enough. Let's try that. And then you should get a toothpick and just kind of push it right out to the edge. Not over the edge, but right out to the edge. It'll naturally just kind of stop there. And just make sure you push it right to the edge. All the way around. And that will fill it in. If you're making a pendant or whatever you're going to do with it, it'll be a nice smooth stone all the way around. So I've got it all out to the edge. And my gut feel is that I can put a bit more resin there on that one. I won't need to spread it to the edge again because I already did that. But just to make it a little bit fuller, I'll just put it in the middle and it will naturally level out. Let's see what this guy's doing. Do the same thing. Beauty. Okay, and then I will give them all a little torch. Get the bubbles out. Shouldn't be so much there because they're underneath. Okay, they look good. Now you don't want to bump them. Okay, and now I'll just do these little guys. Okay, we're getting there. So tomorrow, once these are all cured, then I can put the findings on and then they'll be ready to go. Okay, here we are next morning. And all of the doming I did turned out really nice. So now they're nice and smooth all the way around. They don't have that ridge. So what I'll probably do with these mostly is I just started learning how to do this wire jewelry. There's a million YouTube videos and it's not hard. Like, look at that. You see? Look how nice that is. It's kind of fun, and it's something you can do without making a huge mess like all the other painting stuff I do. So I take this at home at night, and actually I leave most of this wiring stuff at home, and just, you know, when you're sitting watching TV, you know, you can do that stuff. Look at that, it's so cute. Yeah. And then these are really easy to finish off. I'll just use, for these ones, I'll probably just use these, you know, these little, I don't know what you call them, little leathery necklace things. And there we go. Yeah, cool. So I'll do that with those. I'll put the little necklace things on. These ones, I think I will probably wire wrap these. I think that'd be the nicest thing. I could make just straight pendants, but they're kind of bulky. So I'll probably wire wrap them. And these little guys, what color did I put? Silver. So there, I resined them into those little cabochon holder thingies. Again, from Amazon. They're, you know, they're not that expensive. I don't know, like, look at a great big bag of them. I don't know, maybe $10 or something like that. And I mean, if you sell one for $10, you've covered it off. So I'll just get, and then these silver chains I get from Amazon as well. They're really, you know, they're pretty. They're dainty. I don't know, I've worn them for a long time. I've never had one break, but, you know, they're from Amazon and they're in bulk. I think I get 30 of them for about $20, but they're nice. They're nice. And, you know, if you're selling something for $15, people aren't expecting it to be, you know, silver or gold. Oh, that's rose gold. This one is silver. That's a silver backing. So I'll put the silver chain on that one. That's pretty. Pretty. Yep. And then what else? Oh, and this one. Those little clasps, I think I showed you yesterday, those little claw things, they are great. So I'm gonna I'll show you, you just kind of spread it apart with your hands a bit. You don't need a tool for that, it's pretty soft enough. And when you have your pendants with a little, ones that have a little hole in them, if they don't have a hole, you can put one. Oh, I have to drill that one a bit. I'll come back and do that. The hole isn't quite all the way through, but you just put it in there and close the clasp down, and it ends up like this. And then the opening on these isn't quite big enough for a chain or anything. So what I do is I just put a little jump ring. These little jump ring guys. You can use oops, these ones are harder. I don't have my tools here, I've got them at home. Hang on, I have some I'll come back to that. So you just get a jump ring, put it through there, jump ring that's a little bit bigger, so one that's sort of, a jump ring that's a little bit bigger so that a chain will fit through. Easy peasy. These ones did not have a hole in them. So I think what I'm going to do with this, I'll just show you quickly how I do it. So I'm just going to drill a little hole, a little bit of noise. That's probably enough. Let me just check my little, I don't know what you call those, ring screws or something, circle screws, I don't know. And then just put it in and twist it in. So I just want to see how far it's going to go. Actually, I don't think I'm going to need to. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just dip it in my UV resin so that it just gives it extra security, but this looks pretty, this is pretty solid, so I don't think I need to do that. So decide which way I want it to show. So that's the back, that's the front. So I just turn it so when I put the chain, put a little chain in. Or you could, you could use any kind of necklace. Oops. There we go. Another easy one. Oops. There. Pretty pendant. Cool. What else? I wanted to show you, and this one I will do the same thing. I'm just going to drill a hole, put this little guy in, and put it on a chain. This one, again, I'll just use one of these guys. It's all nice and solid in there with the resin, so I don't have to worry it's not going to fall out. I mean, people use lots of different things, but I find if I've got resin handy, a little bit of resin, that way I know for sure it's not going to fall out on them. Here we go. Pretty. Now I wanted to show you, there's a heart, same thing, I did that little clasp thing. That little clasp thing, that'll be really pretty. And then, same thing there. Oh yeah, that's the one I'm going to put a jump ring in. And then, that one turned out so nice. You can see the sparkle at the bottom. And the earrings, I'll show you really quickly. It's real easy. These are the ones I'm going to make into earrings. I've got to decide which way I want them to go. Typically they would go this way, but I think I want them to go this way. So, just turn them over. And I've got a little bit of UV resin. Shake it up a bit. Just put a little dab on each one. Just a little dab. This stuff is expensive, but I just use it for things like this, and like, oh, it lasts a long time. And I just put the post, the little earring post, just kind of scoop it under that resin, turn it a bit to spread it, and then I just spread the resin so that it covers the head of the thingy. Can you see what I'm doing? And just make sure they're both in the same place. And then you put your UV light on it. This is a, try to get it, whoops, what am I doing here? There we go, there's the UV setting. So I just put that on for just, oh, I don't know, 15 seconds or so, just so that it stays. And then I picked up one of those little UV lamp things, so I just put it in there to make sure that it's not going to move. It only takes a very short amount of time, and then I can put it under my lamp and forget about it for 5 minutes or so. See, it's already set. It's pretty cool stuff, but I don't ever make pendants out of UV resin. It'd be too expensive. I just use it to kind of attach things quickly and do tiny repair things. Okay, so that's under there. So yeah, oh, and these turned out so nice. So I just put a little bit of resin on the back of that extra little star and stuck it on, and that ain't coming off. So those turned out so nice. I gotta get making those. And this one I thought was a little plain, so I stuck a little rhinestone in the middle with resin. Yeah, I gotta make some more of those. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea of the process, start to finish, I think. And I'll put links to everything in my description, to all the stuff that I, get from Amazon. I guess mostly Amazon. And you can go and have some fun. Just one more little thing I want to show you. When you put on the jump rings, some of them are very solid and you don't have to worry, but some are a little bit more bendy. And I just want to make sure that, when people buy necklaces, that the pendant doesn't fall off. and that, you know, the jump rings break. So what I do is I get my UV resin, just put a tiny little drip on my mat, and then with a toothpick, where I've put the jump ring back together, I just dab a little bit of UV resin on. It's hard even to see. Just a little dab of UV resin. Oh, I should have left my flashlight on. I can never get it to go. There we go. Just a little dab of resin on just where the jump ring joins, and that way I know it's not going to fall off on them. Oops, not too much. You don't want it to drip. Just a little. Just need a little dab. That's why my UV resin lasts me so long. I just do. I'm just kind of spreading it out a bit because you don't want a big clump. You just want to cover that joint so that they're not going to lose their beautiful pendant. There we go. That's it. That's it.